Okay, ladies, now let's get information. I say, okay, ladies, now let's get information. You know you that bitch when you cause all this conversation. Always stay gracious, best revenge is your paper.
Hey, if you're taking the time to check out this podcast, thank you so much. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so that you can check out all the podcasts to come. Thanks for joining.
Hello, it's your girl, the thick writer chick, Miss Courtney Lyric in the building. And I have two special guests with me today. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, cool. So, Mr. Dother, you can go first, and then Miss Ron, introducing yourselves.
I'm Dother Sykes. Uh, I am a screenwriter, director, actor, comedian, some former father, husband, all around guy.
And I am Run Brown. That's it.
Girl, don't do that.
Don't do that. Come on now.
Don't do that.
I'm Run Brown. That's it.
She's selling herself so very short, y'all. She is a photographer. She is an
You being
artist. She is
humble.
a podcaster.
Yeah,
What?
all that good
Yes.
stuff. Photographer, podcaster, uh, marketer, and graphic designer, and all that media stuff.
All that jazz.
Da da da.
So I
Ah,
I definitely selected people to be a part of this show that I know work in what I feel like is black entertainment or work in the arts. Dother is an actor amongst many things. Miss Ron, like I said, is a photographer amongst many things. And the discussion today is what is missing in black entertainment. Now, since my thing is writing, I'm mostly going to discuss film and television. Maybe one day we'll do like a music, but I feel like black music is very versatile.
Hmm.
Some of it might not be as popular, but we definitely have, more to choose from music wise than I feel than TV and film wise. So, to break the ice, I'm going to start with my first question. And Dotha, you can go first. What are your
okay.
top three favorite genres as far as film and television?
Comedy number one, uh, thriller number two, and action.
Okay.
Okay, so I will have to go with psychological thrillers.
Yes.
I do like horror films. Um, and maybe action.
Why do you say maybe?
Because I always lean toward any type of thriller or psychological. If anybody dies, I'm with it.
Okay. No, I'm a fan. Look. I'm a fan of that too. I like when people aren't afraid to kill off,
Yeah,
especially your favorites. Like Game of Thrones is one of my favorite shows because they're
yeah,
not afraid to kill off audience favorites. Some
right.
stuff shies away from that, so I like a little death too. I feel what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So for mine, I picked historical drama. Um, so like if it's based in the past, what's a few?
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, but we will get to it. I have my thoughts on black historical drama.
Okay.
Thriller. I have to say I love a good thriller, especially a psychological thriller. I love a good plot twist. Oh, yes. And I put action slash fantasy, but so they can share a chair because I like them both equally. I might like
Okay.
fantasy more because sometimes action is just ass whooping with no motive. So I like
Mm,
when it has for real though, but like
I get it. I get it.
we're just here with the hands,
I
just
get it.
Air
Yeah.
Force energy with no motivation. I can't get you with that. But when there's a storyline, when there's character development and some ass whooping, okay. So yeah, I put those. So my next question is, do you feel that there is a lot of black representation in those genres that you listed?
I feel like we need to, in my personal opinion, I feel like we need, as black people, black entertainment, I feel like we need to shy away from comedy because there's so much of it and it's starting to get like oversaturated to the point that it puts us in a box.
Mm,
Um, and then shy more into the whole psychological thriller and you know the different genres.
yeah.
So wow, that was a good question. But yeah, I feel like in my opinion, we need to start shying away from because we're some talented people. We can do
Yes.
more than just what
Mhm.
they give us. You know what I mean? So uh, yeah, that's why I have like the utmost respect for Jordan Peele because of what he's
Mm-hmm.
setting outside of the standard of a black entertainer. But
Facts.
Mhm.
so yeah.
Okay. Miss Ron, what do you think?
Um, he basically said what I was gonna say, but I don't think that with the whole comedy situation, I don't think that it's like oversaturated or whatnot. I just think some people are just not good at comedy. Period. So let's just
Yeah,
let's
true.
just let's just do let's just say that. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? I don't like to I don't like to consider or think that certain things are quote unquote oversaturated. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I feel
Hmm.
So
you.
I wouldn't say that. I would just say that some people are just flat out not good in comedy, and sometimes they just be giving everybody a stand
Damn.
up or give everybody a special. Cause I
Mm-hmm.
don't watch some specials on Netflix and they just not good. Period.
Sorry to
That's
those comedians. I think I
sorry.
get what Dother is
Uh,
saying
but,
because it's like,
Yeah.
right, sorry, your life's work is trash, buddy. But I do think that especially during the 90s, I think what Dother's kind of saying is it could become a box. Like we
yeah,
might a producer or like an Ice Cube might bring you 5 scripts, but you only take his comedy one seriously.
right.
So when they start to box our artists into, oh, we can't do anything but comedy because of,
Mm-hmm.
there's the Wayans and then okay, then it becomes restricting. So I see what both are saying. Some
Right.
people are just trashy. We
It's-
are funny. Black people are funny as fuck. So I think we will
But
forever dominate
yeah.
comedy. Now, don't get me wrong, the whites got some good comedies too. Robin
Oh
Williams
yeah,
was
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
genius, But
Of course.
so I definitely see both sides of that coin. And I think one of you guys mentioned action. Do you feel like there are a lot of black action stars?
Oh, black action stars.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, we got Margaret Dark White. We
Okay.
got Wesley Snipes. We got. I
All two of
consider
them, huh?
Will Smith an action star.
I
yeah,
do. I do.
Uh, Martin Lawrence. Wow. I know there's more out there. There's more.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Because action star is like everybody knows what you're
hmm
doing. Like if you say Jason Statham, right? So everybody knows what he is and what he does. He
yeah.
does nothing but action. Or you say The Rock. So that's not a dang.
The
That's
Rock
not a
kind of
lot of
counts. The Rock is
he.
multiracial. His dad's
Yeah,
black,
he.
so
Oh yeah, he counts. Okay. Um, yeah, that's not a lot of us. We need more. Now, if you want
he.
to count Tubi, if you want to count Tubi,
We gonna get to Tubi. We will get to Tubi. There will be no Tubi slander on this platform.
there's
Okay.
Okay.
no slanders.
Okay.
No,
No slander.
there's no slanders here. No,
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 no, no slander. It just kills
no,
me
no,
that
no.
the bullet lands like 10 seconds after they shoot the person.
Look,
It's like
look.
pow, and then there's a long pause, and then
We
it's
we
oh.
will dabble. We will
But
dabble.
okay. All right. Sorry. I got
So
ahead. I got
here's the
ahead.
thing. Here's the
Mm.
thing. Dother's absolutely right. There probably are more black action stars, but are they on the level of what's the dude that plays Thor? Are they on that level? Unfortunately, there's
Chris,
not many. Chris Hemsworth, like, are they
man.
on a Tom Cruise when he was in his heyday?
Mm.
We
Mm,
usually have about a good five in rotation,
Right,
if that.
right.
And I agree that does need to change. So my favorite was historical drama and Shan. Um, with the Underground, and we only got 2 seasons of that. Was a very good, to me, example of black historical fiction, historical drama. But outside of, and even that included slavery, which a lot of people don't want to see anymore. So
Hmm.
usually when there is black historical drama, it's usually based on real, like it would be like an autobiography, like the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, something like that. The Martin Luther King
Mhm.
story. It'll be stuff like that. But as far as like something like a Game of Thrones or like a Kingdom or like, one of those type shows with black characters being the main characters,
Mm,
I can't think of many.
Mm,
And if there are
mm,
any like that, like I said, they hover around slavery or the civil rights. And usually, even those are based off of a real life story. It's not fiction. I like historical drama that's fiction. Every now and
right.
then, autobiography is nice. But when that is all you're getting and it's normally based in slavery or civil rights, it can get tiring because why can't we have dragons? Why can't why can't there be a person in a castle who happens to have locks? So I mean, but we'll dabble. Okay, so next thing. What are your thoughts on race swapping in television and film? It's kind of been, I don't want to say a craze, but in the past maybe 5 years it has been a thing. And a lot of different people feel a lot of different ways about it. So I'm gonna ask you guys how you feel about it.
okay, so I don't know. I don't see a problem with it. The problem is I don't see a problem with it, but the problem is okay. Yeah, that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. But you get what I'm saying. I don't have an issue
Yeah.
with it, but the I think the main issue is when they do with the race swap, we just have to change our mindset on stuff
Okay.
because our mind is set on this character being a particular race. So for example, mermaid.
Yep.
We are used to seeing white girl, red hair.
True.
So when they switched it, it blew. It should have blew everybody's mind. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna say I understood because someone would just flat out
Bigots.
that they were just flat out wrong for some of the stuff that they were saying. But
Hmm.
we have to when we are used to seeing a
Mm-hmm.
particular race as a particular character, like we have to switch our mindset and be like, okay, this ain't the old days. So
Yep.
this character can be black. You know,
Yeah.
just like instance like the whole rage when they was supposed to make Idris Elba James Bond.
Mm.
So that was yeah. So we're used to seeing James Bond as a particular race. You
You
know what
can
I'm
say
Yeah.
saying?
white. You can say white.
I can say white. White T, white T, white T
Yeah. YT. YT.
E.
Right.
Oh my
Right.
goodness.
We see, yeah. So it's just that on with stuff like that, we just have to change the mindset and be like,
All
this
right.
ain't what it used to be.
Yeah. I agree with that. I got two opinions about that.
Okay.
They do. I feel like they do it for a check. First off, because during the time of frame right now, if you think about the Little Mermaid, Black Panther 2, the Marvels, all that's about the women empowerment, and they had black women. Is like that was just the money buck, and that's the same
Mm-hmm.
time Microsoft had hired a black CEO, a woman, for the first time in history. So it's like, you know, people are using to bring in what people are wanting to see to pay for. Secondly, when they did the mermaid, I thought it was cool. Secondly, mermaid ain't real. Mermaids are real, but you know what I mean. Like they can
Get it?
race swap whatever they want. James Bond is not a real person, so
Right.
they can make him whatever you want. Like if they made Blade white, I wouldn't be mad because Blade's not real. Now, if you did a Martin Luther King movie, now we got a problem.
No.
You get
I get it. I get it. I
I
get
wouldn't have
it.
a problem with the white
I
blade
get it.
because damn, we ain't got but the five black superheroes as it is.
I know,
Please
but I'm
leave
just
him
saying,
be.
please leave him alone. I'm not saying do it, guys. Don't do it, Marvel. Don't do it. But it's just like, because, we like I agree with Veronica, like I don't mind it, but I do. You know what I mean? It's like you're, and then,
Hmm.
but in my mind, like, they're going to do what they want to do anyway. I'm going to see it regardless.
Yeah.
And she did a phenomenal job as
Yeah,
Mermaid. Like,
absolutely.
Ariel,
with,
y'all get.
hey, Ariel, Hallie, you did that. So, utmost respect for her. Um, who else they race swap? You mentioned.
It's been quite, Velma, that was race swap. It's been a
Oh,
bit
Velma,
of,
that's right.
yeah.
Oh, and her when she was Beauty in Beauty and the when she
Oh,
did
her to
Beauty and
be.
the Beast.
That's right.
But technically,
Mhm.
Tony Braxton has played Belle, I believe, on
Sure
Broadway,
did,
and
sure
Yep,
nobody had
yep.
a
did,
problem with
sure
it. So
did, sure did,
I agree with both of you guys. I can
sure
see.
did.
I don't condone the bigots thinking, but I understand. You know what? Because okay, I agree with Dother that a lot of this representation is kind of like a checklist. It's kind of like, okay, we've got our black females. We want to show that we're inclusive. All Black Lives Matter. Yay. So I don't necessarily think it's all genuine, especially with Disney. But so I kind of understand the talking points of the bigots because they don't want to just come out and say we're racist down with niggas. They say talking points like, well, it's not really genuine. And yes, you are correct, but I know that's not your motive. You
Mm,
Yeah,
don't give a damn about Ariel. You just don't want nobody taking something that was white and making it black.
mhm.
yeah.
Now, you didn't mind when all the historical figures played, that were African American or that were multiracial were played by white people. You didn't mind that at all. Looking at you, Cleopatra. Well, that's a different story. But you didn't mind when Tom Cruise played the samurai. You didn't mind none of that. But the
Mhm.
minute that a white character is made a different race, then there's an uproar amongst the bigots. However, and I'm not saying I co-sign it, I understand it. However, like Ron said, when we went to movies as little kids, it never crossed our mind that this was a white film. We just knew
Right.
we just knew it was a movie.
Yeah.
And so
Mm-hmm.
that is what people are used to seeing. So when you stick color in there, when you stick different genders in there, when you stick handicapped people in there, now it's
Mhm.
something's different. And and it probably was the same way when it used to just be white people on the screen and then black people started to get on the screen. So you have to kind of train your mind from that's normal to this can
Right,
be normal too.
Yeah.
right,
But
right,
when you have a made up mind or a bigoted mind, you ain't trying to hear that no way. So
Right.
that's where my understanding of the bigot stopped. Because when I watch a Hispanic film, I don't feel left out or played to the left because ain't no black people in it. By all means, get your representation because everybody deserves that.
right,
Right.
Bigoted people don't feel that way. They want to be the center of all things. And that's just not art. That's not art. But
Right. Right.
on the flip side, my problem with the race swapping is, first of all, it's usually not genuine. It's just for shock factor, shock value to try to get views. And on the other end of that is five black producers or five black screenwriters who put their life's work in front of you and it didn't get greenlit so you could give us, Marie Antoinette as a black woman that
mhm.
Yeah.
nobody asked for. If you aren't putting black creatives, if you aren't putting money in their hand, if you're not putting them to work, then your representation is bullshit.
Mm.
There's too many black creatives with original stories for you to give us whatever with a black person and call it representation.
Right. Right.
So that's my thought on
I
that.
I agree.
I'm not against it. Like, don't say I'm still gonna watch it. It doesn't sway me one way or another because I know for the
Mhm.
most part it's probably not genuine, no way. But I was being real. Like, who asked for the Black Marie Antoinette? Who you thought wanted to see that? We didn't ask for that. Like, we didn't ask for that, and you knew the bigots was gonna get mad. So,
Yep.
and what is publicity, whether it's negative or positive, is still publicity. So,
People
that's
still
my
gonna
only
watch it.
issue
Yep.
with it. So, but let me ask you guys this. Will mainstream truly support a fully black cast the same as they would a white one?
Nope.
Well, damn.
Nope. 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 No. Wait. 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 Wait.
Now, with Black Panther, I think Black Panther proved it can be done because that was a crossover hit. It really was.
We're on Facebook, so there's some. I can't get deep into that
But it shouldn't be a solo act, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it
It
still
should
had
not
a.
be the only one of its kind. And did it
It
have
still.
white people in it? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't even
So,
count. Like, ain't nobody looking at them. But the
which was
cast,
great.
yeah, the cast overall was predominantly. So that's what I mean when I say, do you feel like? let's take one of, I mean, just a classic, cult classic movie like Top Gun. Let's say it was most.
We already had one of those. We're Red Tails.
True, but that came
And
out. That came out like 2012, didn't it? I'm talking about back in the
right.
gap. So okay,
But
and I saw Red Tails and it was good. But
it
let's
was
say
bad.
in the 80s,
Uh-huh.
we had a predominantly black male cast with two white because there were two black. Remember, dude from Walker Texas Ranger was in Top
Yeah.
Gun.
Yeah, he was.
So let's say
Oh.
we sprinkled a little white and it was mostly black. Do you think that same film with that same script would have been as huge of a hit as it was with Tom Cruise?
Oh. Oh yes. I
You
feel like
think
it would
so?
I feel like it would be because I feel like it would be. If they give it that chance to because honestly, like you said, you saw what we do with Black Panther. Black
Mm-hmm.
Panther sales went crazy
Crazy.
and
Mhm.
went crazy. So yeah, if you take that cat and give it that, yeah, I think it will.
Okay. I would say this. I think we could have put our best of the best on the line, and I think we would have bombarded because we got Denzel. Who was on the A? We got Denzel. We got Wesley Snipes. We got Samuel. Well, was Samuel L. Jackson out by then? Yeah, he was kind of out. We got our best of the best, good-looking, handsome men on the front line. Denzel at the front. I think it would have done well, but do I think white people would have come to see it? I do not.
Right.
And that
That's
doesn't mean it wasn't good. It would have been just as good, maybe better, because those are some men that can act their asses off.
right,
But
right.
it's not like Ron said. It's not normal. Like they would be like, "What is this?"
That's why like people left, you know, people left bad reviews about Blue Beetle, and I went to go see it, and Blue Beetle was definitely for the culture.
Hilarious. I loved it.
Right, it was good. It was a good movie, but I know who was the one that didn't like the movie because they didn't see themselves in it. Which instead of just watching the movie,
Mhm.
Right. Why do
hi,
you? And you know what? That's one of the talking points I have seen in comments, especially during the Little Mermaid, because baby, they drug her by her eyelashes. But that was one of their talking points to the minorities. Why do you have to see? Whenever somebody would say, representation matters. Why do you have to see yourself in it? Why do you have to see yourself in it? Why is it a
Mhm.
problem if you don't? Because
yeah,
we saw Blue Beetle, and not at one point in time did I feel like ain't enough niggas in this. I'm out of here. This is their movie. That's
and
their
the,
culture,
and it was hilarious.
and
George
it was
Lopez, all
funny. Like I don't have it. Everything don't have to be blackity black 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 for me to enjoy it. So in
Mhm.
turn, I
right.
ask the mainstream, why do you feel? I know they're not gonna answer, but why do you feel that everything has to be mostly white for it to be quality and for it to be accepted? So I'm with Ron. It may take time, and I think we
Mhm.
would need more films like Black Panther for studio because it's not even necessarily viewing audiences because the trickle down effect is real. The public does what the people in charge tell them to do.
Mhm.
Like if there was nothing but black films out, then you would have no choice. You would have to see black films. But if
Right.
studio heads and producers don't feel like we can do this film and this is a great script, but the leading man can't be black, I don't think that would sell. Or the leading woman can't be black, I don't think that would sell. That's when you're dead in the water because the artist did their part and brought a quality script or a quality idea, and the people in charge, who are paid to be the suits, they are
Mhm.
paid to do the thinking and the analytics,
Yeah.
don't feel like, and it might not even be because they are racist. They're basing it off of numbers. What do
Yep.
the numbers say?
Yeah. It's a numbers game. You know,
Yeah.
that's why you see actors that you don't like in movies because I mean they have like over $1 billion worth of box
Mhm.
sales behind the name. So you know, and it's just what it is. You know, because when the producer invests in a film, he has to know who's in the movie
Mm.
because if he hears, "Oh, we got The Rock in him," okay, of course I'm gonna make my money back.
Unless you're Black Adam.
Unless you,
Womp womp, which I really didn't think was horrible.
it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. You know, it wasn't bad. It was.
Mm.
It was. It was.
It would have been better without The Rock. I think they should have got an unknown who was willing to wear the wig and actually look like the character from the comics. And The Rock just wanted to be himself in the outfit. I'm just sidebar. I just throw it out there, but yeah.
Hey, honestly, right? But I agree because yeah, Black Adam had hair.
Yes. Why he ain't put the wig on? Cause I'm The Rock. Okay. Mm.
Oh man, but
But
yeah,
yeah. So that kind of is a hurdle for creatives. I don't know if y'all saw about this new Netflix movie. The woman who played the eldest sister on Deliver Us from Evil wrote a book, and the publishing company loved the book, and it just got adapted into a Netflix movie starring Anne Hathaway. I think that's her name from The Princess Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
But the publishing company made her change the characters to white, or they wouldn't pick it up. And so that has kind of been going around about this film, but the film was still, even with people knowing that this movie was supposed to originally be black casted, it still made the top 10 on Netflix. So the fact that something like that is still happening in 2024 is so discouraging.
Well, okay, so at that point, okay, so I get what you're saying, but sometimes, and look, I'm broke. I'm not up there in the tax bracket either. So I've never had, a significant amount of money offered to me to change something up. But sometimes you have to like
Get your foot in the door. I understand.
you do have to do that, and then at the same time, um, she could have said no.
That choice was there.
She could have said no, because if I write a story and it's supposed to be all African Americans and they want to change it to white, like no, because that's not how this particular story is based. So no, I will just be broke. I
I
just
feel
won't
you on that. I
just
feel you
won't
on
have
that.
that money. So I mean, she had the option. Well, like I said, I don't know their situation or whatever, but I feel like
yeah.
if she didn't want that to happen, she could have just flat out said no. I'm not gonna, and she could have put it on Tubi.
But like you said, this
But
is
I
life changing
Yeah.
Good.
money.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't.
absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yes. Don't get me
So
wrong. That's why I
all
said
my
I
scripts.
haven't. That's why I said I have not been offered any type of money of that caliber.
Right.
So I probably would have been yes, a massa. How about this?
Jasmine can
Right.
become Jessica real quick.
Real quick, right?
But I think that's the part we missing though. We
Yeah.
Hmm.
see a large amount of check that's offered to us, even
Hmm.
if they want to change how they want to change it because they give you the money and they investing it to you. Don't forget, it comes with strings.
Yes.
So why do
Yeah.
you think Issa Rae went back independent after doing all these
Hmm.
TV shows for HBO?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Because she worked so hard to get across that line, and now she's seeing the realization of what it really is, and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, they're taking more than what, and I'm doing all the work. I could be doing this myself now. So it's like stuff like Tubi. People need to stop sleeping on Tubi, bro. Like you make your own movie. Guess how much you going? You the only person you gonna know. You make your revenue and you control your money.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Not them, not Tubi, not no other overhead. Rather than you go to Universal and they give you $1 million for your film, and then all of a sudden you see 80,000 because oh that's what the box earned 80,000. You're like what?
Hmm.
I,
It's a lot of moving parts, so that's why I say I get why because she's not the person that leaked that information. It's just out there now. So it wasn't like she went on TikTok and was like pulled an
Right.
Amanda Seals and was like, hold up, y'all. Let me talk to y'all real quick. These motherfuckers took my script and made me change. Now that's something I would have done. After I got the check, I'm I'm
ah,
gonna let y'all know. They
Yeah.
made me change Jasmine to Jessica.
Yeah.
Them was black
Yeah.
people. But so I I get it, but also that's one of the reasons why I still respect Tubi, because it is a platform
Hmm.
that gives black creatives a space.
yeah,
Hmm.
And they
and
getting
yeah,
their money up. They had a Super Bowl commercial, so they getting their money up. But it does have a bad reputation, and I'll tell you why. And I don't even think it's not be. I don't think it's because the talent isn't there. Because there are some really good scripts on Tubi. There's some good. Not the bullet. That's not
you
script. That's
said
not story. That's
you said
good
good
stories.
scripts. I love what you said. Good scripts.
Because a story can be good and the resources are not there.
Oh yeah.
Right.
If you
Yes.
don't have but a $20,000 budget, you're not getting Denzel quality acting, and you
That's
damn
right.
sure ain't
That's
getting
right.
Marvel special effects. You're
That's
going to
right.
get FX and whoever came from the casting call that was willing to take $1,000 or less.
Hmm.
So the resource is not a lack of talent; it's a lack of resources. So
Hmm.
how
Yeah.
do if Tubi became subscribed, do you think we would get better quality films? Would people even pay for the subscription?
See, this is the pro. See, okay, no. So if Tubi start charging, but if Tubi start charging monthly for people, then they will start. Anybody won't be able to submit their films now.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Tubi is,
the strings you talking
yeah.
about. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
So Tubi is like the YouTube of films because they get paid off of views and the commercials on
And
their
ads,
views
yeah.
and
Okay.
ads and all that. So if they start charging, then we won't be seeing the films that we do because I've noticed that
And is that
when
bad? Is I mean,
it's not get your money by means. Don't. This is the thing that I know I had a problem with that I love seeing that some people going to shoot their film. I'm like, okay, at least they got it done. At least they shot a film.
yeah.
Right.
At least they're doing that. But secondly, I'm like, okay, I don't really have to have bullets, so I'm not going to add a special effect because that's going to take away from the movie.
Yes.
Now, sometimes I feel like they do this on purpose because people on TikTok is going to talk about it, which
I
is
love
going to
it.
bring them views
Gotta
to their
Yeah.
be.
movie because people.
Yeah.
So it's kind of smart in a way when you start
Yeah.
thinking about it of how it, they.
Cause
I'm like, they're doing this on purpose. They're doing this on purpose.
trust me, Tyler Perry has heard everything we've had to say about these wigs, and they still raggedy. I'm telling you, it's on purpose at this point. But he's
Yeah.
a billionaire, so we can't argue
Mhm.
with the like. He's another one that okay. I see, from a filmmaker because I do film. But here's how you know you're dealing with low quality when people that don't even make films are like, "What the fuck was that? Like that camera just was that coffee mug there?" When people that don't even do film are picking up on your mistakes, okay, we're dealing with low quality.
Yeah.
But like, don't just say it makes for a good TikTok clip, it makes for a good Facebook
Mhm.
clip, and people are then going to come and watch it. So there's a little bit of genius in the madness.
Yeah.
Mhm.
However, if we want to be taken seriously, because when I was in film school, the only time Tyler Perry was ever brought up is when our teachers were telling us about what not to do or something bad. And not that, and that's not okay, because that can be a double edged sword. Those were white men. There were no black teachers at my school.
Okay.
So are we looking to appease the white gays? No. However, they are the ones pulling the strings. And
Mhm.
if we want to get quality content with black people and from black creatives on the forefront, you have to respect the craft. I
Yeah.
respect anybody that went to YouTube University, got it out in the mud, and like he said, at least shot the film because film school is not cheap and everybody is
Mhm.
not able to do. That's what I mean by it ain't the lack of talent, it's the resources, and I'd like to
Right.
add the knowledge.
Yeah.
There are some people that have great acting potential or are just naturally good fucking actors, but film school is not in the not film school, but acting school is not in the budget.
You're right. Right.
And school is not just school; it's also rubbing elbows. So those rooms that Sally, Daniel, and David are getting into, even though they might be mediocre, Christopher is not getting into, even though he's twice as talented because he's not
Mhm.
in the room.
Yeah.
So we got to get our people the resources and the knowledge, but how to do that when people that do not look like us are the ones holding the purse strings?
Right. Yeah. I feel like we need to stop. I feel like we need to stop rushing on what we want.
You took the words out
Okay,
of my you
elaborate,
took the
you
words out of
guys.
my mouth. You took the words out of
Okay.
my mouth. This go ahead. Go ahead.
What you gonna say? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because we do because even for me like now when I work on I used to be such in a rush sometimes to get a project out there like I had to learn how to pull back and slow down because my projects can be way better if I take my time and do not say do it slower. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Because I mean sometimes we just be in a flat out rush to to get something done, and we need to stop that. We need to take our time and slow up and try to like see if there are any more resources or see if there are any more stuff that, because I mean I'm still learning. I still have my days when I'm in
Yeah,
my office, I'm watching YouTube all day.
Facts. Facts.
yeah,
So it's like, and I still look up, like, is it a workshop going on? Is somebody giving a class here? I have people that I can text and be like, hey, how did you do this, or how does this trick go, or like when I look for like media tricks when I be editing videos, like, hey, you did this, how you did that, or I look it up or something like
yeah,
that. So we definitely need to, so that's why I was like, yeah, I definitely get what you're saying about we are rushing to get stuff done, and we just need to kind of slow it down. So sometimes it
Yeah.
might take like a year or two for a project to come out.
Okay.
yeah,
Totally
yeah, and
respect
it's
that. I
and
respect
nothing wrong
that.
with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Dr. Dre said something that really stood out. He said, "I would rather spend a year on a project
Mm-hmm.
that would last a lifetime rather than drop a project that would last a few weeks."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? So it's like you got to think of that aspect of it because I done seen people with a $20,000 camera and I saw they film and it looked like it was shot on an iPhone because the just because the DP or the cinematographer
Mm-hmm.
said, "Oh, I have a camera, I know what I'm doing," but when you get there, now it shows you spent money on this guy. So it's like we have to take our time and actually find out if you have a vision. Do interviews. There's nothing wrong doing interviews and finding out somebody's work or sitting down with an actor that never acted before and hey, do it. Like we have to work with people for our vision
Yes.
to to get what we want. So, but yeah, take your time. It's a marathon, not a race.
I
You
Mm-hmm.
love
know,
that. I love that. Because Ava DuVernay, her first short that she put in what's called Sundance, I think.
done.
I
Yeah.
think she said the budget was like 20K.
See, and
And
that's
and
high.
she for a short, that's pretty hot, but compared to like how much Disney gave her to do what was that
Yeah,
movie
the
she did with Stormy? A
time,
Wrinkle in Time.
regular
It's
time. Yeah,
nothing. It was a drop in the bucket, of course, but you have to start. Okay, and I know that's confusing, especially for creatives because we are scatterbrained as fuck. I know that's confusing hearing something that contradicts itself. Yes, take your time, but also start where you at. Like,
yeah,
don't let getting the craft together and getting the resources together really be perfectionism with a wig on, and that eases up into procrastination, and now the thing never happens.
right,
It's
right.
like you
That's
gotta find a balance.
yes, yes.
And
That's very true.
what I've noticed is, especially like Tubi and like BET Plus, because the platforms are there for people on a budget. Those films, from a cinematography standpoint, are not good, but the story is good. And so, yes, black people like a good drama filled story. So even if you ain't quite there yet, you can do something and it still be good. To me, because I'm a story girl, I'm a writer first and foremost. If the story is fire, I don't care what the medium is. I'm gonna watch it. If it's anime,
Mm-hmm.
if it's cartoons, if it's soap opera, if the shit's good, I'm watching it. And there are a lot of people that feel that way. So it doesn't have to be absolute perfection to get started. Tyler Perry is a fine example of that. However, depending on what kind of rooms you are trying to get into, if you want to get into rooms where you can actually reach back and do something for the rest of the community,
Mm-hmm.
that takes money. It takes resources. So Spike Lee went to film school, and his first film, he maxed out credit cards. I think it was Do the Right Thing or She's Gotta Have It. One of the, it was She's Gotta Have It.
So you gotta have it.
Mm-hmm.
He maxed out credit cards. Him and
Mm-hmm.
Robert Townsend did a film, and they maxed out credit cards.
Wrap that credit
No, no,
cards.
no.
Yep.
It was Robert Townsend and the oldest Wayans brother. They maxed out
All the
credit
way, brother.
cards to
Yep.
make I think it was Hollywood Shuffle,
Hollywood Shuffle. Yeah.
and it's a black cult classic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still watch it to this day. It's the pimp of the year. So I mean, you have to find the balance between I want to do it right and let's get it. Like time waits for no man. And I
Yeah.
know that's contradicting. It is.
yeah.
I wish I had something better. It's
I,
contradicting
I,
as
I
hell.
wouldn't say it was contradicting it. I think that part with let's get it, I think that's just part of the motivation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think just saying let's get it is like rushing. It's like, okay, let's put our foot down and let's do this right. I think that's more of motivation, because I do it all the time
Yeah.
to for it's keeping me motivated, because I'm trying to like I'm making my business to stay ahead of the game,
Yeah.
especially since I've been consistent with my interviews. So, cause like my interviews started like every Tuesday, but now people hit me up and I'm hitting people up. It's starting to become every Tuesday and Thursday. So I got to like,
Okay.
I'm booking my interviews like a month or so ahead of time. And it's so, and matter of fact, I actually do my flyers before I even ask anybody if they want to be interviewed. If before I
Dang.
even hit
See, I
anybody
need
up.
that kind of motivation because I
Yeah,
just made
so
that
I like
flyer too.
I have a lot of flyers done of people who I want to interview. So when they, not just in case, when they do say yeah, oh, here's the flyer. This your
By the
date
way,
and time.
Man, look,
You know
look.
when you're
but I
ready.
love it though.
That's hilarious.
I
Yeah,
got you.
So,
I gotta do better. You didn't challenge me because I ain't gonna
yeah,
lie. I think I
soon
just
as
asked
somebody
y'all
say yeah,
Tuesday.
soon,
yeah,
soon as somebody say yeah to Veronica, she posted it in 5 seconds. You're like, where you
yeah.
get that picture from? Girl, I had this like 2 years ago. I knew you were gonna come
Yeah.
eventually.
I look at it as a form of kind of like manifestation or whatever. Like,
I
okay,
love
this
Yeah.
who I
that.
want, this how I want to interview. Fly already made. So like my next move is to be more my next move, I still want to interview people here, within the city, but my next move is like I'm gonna dip in these celebrities inboxes.
I love it.
Like, hey, what you doing? Look, what you doing?
Right, right.
How can I get you? They can't do me but tell me yes or no. If they got a price, they can't do nothing but give me a price, and I'm gonna tell them I ain't got no damn money.
Damn. So I need okay. Then work on a price list. That's my challenge for you. If we're gonna go that hard, you gotta be ready
Yeah,
because they gonna ask and you
yeah,
gotta have an answer. So
yeah. So,
this is what I like about what she just said. And here's the thing: sometimes you gotta get started.
hmm
Sometimes it only takes the right person seeing you, but they got to see you. I can't see nothing. If I find you working, if I can pull up your portfolio, if I can go to your YouTube and see your work,
hmm
then I know you have work ethic and I can look at it and see it for myself. But you just being like, I'm a talented writer, I'm a talented actor. That's great. Your work. So I mean, let people find you with your head down. So for
hmm
instance, 50 Cent's coming to Shreveport, and that's great. I think that's really good for people like us. But if he
But
don't ever look at a Courtney Lyric script, my head down anyway.
hmm
come on, like, look, this is the thing. Because people was calling like, hey, you in Shreveport? 50 in town, 50 in town. Yo, I'm only want to see 50 when work is done. I'm not gonna be there just to say I took a picture with 50 and he like, oh, nice to meet you, and move on to the next person. No. When I see this dude, I told him last time I saw him, it's gonna be business. I'm
hmm
not gonna be no groupie. I'm sorry, I'm not calling y'all groupies.
Right.
I'm not calling
No,
y'all groupies.
I get
But
it.
Oh, I
I
know.
get it.
but
I get it.
I'm not gonna be around that. So it's just
I
like
get it.
because I see these I see celebrities how they treat people just to want to be around them. But if you see people like Kevin Hart and he come to you and be like, if Kevin Hart comes to you, you know you're doing something right.
hmm
You know he's like, okay, I saw your film, I saw your photography. You know what I mean? That's what I
hmm
want to happen.
Right.
hmm
I
Not
heard
no,
about your
Right,
short
hey,
right,
film.
right,
Yes.
right.
I'm Dother. I can do this.
I'm not gonna play with you. I am not gonna play with you. Oh my
but
goodness.
but yeah, this is the
I love
opportunity.
it.
This is the opportunity to be working right now. Like you said,
hmm
work with your head down because when that studio is done and set, when said and done, you want to have your portfolio already ready. Because
hmm
if he's talking about hiring local people, whatever you're trying to do, you should be doing it right
Right
now.
effing
Absolutely.
now. Have your
Absolutely.
headshots ready now. Have a reel
Absolutely.
put. I don't care if it's nothing but a couple of short films that your homies put together. Have a reel put together right
Right.
hmm
now.
hmm
So
Somebody said a production will hire a director that shot 100 trash films over a person that called himself a director.
Come on.
I agree. Completely agree.
Got it. I mean, like, hey, just got to get to work. Don't worry about it. It's gonna come.
It will
It's gonna
come.
come.
It will come. Oh, I hate to get spirit. You know, no, I wouldn't. So, on this movie called Facing the Giants, this janitor, and I think I've quoted this on my podcast before. He gave the parable of the two farmers. So there were two farmers that prayed for rain. for their crops. But only one farmer went out and tilled his soil and planted seeds. Who do you think God brought the rain to?
Mm-hmm.
They both praying, they both want it very, very badly, but only one of them prepared for the harvest. Let that be you, black creatives. I know because we are scatterbrained people and be here, there, and the third. Sometimes the actual work don't get done, and I'm guilty of it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
guilty of it.
Yeah,
I think I have a
I am
hundred
too.
scripts in my head, and
Yeah,
have five I've actually made. But I can't show 50 Cent or anybody else something that don't exist. Oh, let me sit down and tell you about this idea. All that's gonna happen is homeboy in the corner is gonna take that idea, make it a script, and I can't sue him because there's no such thing as suing for intellectual property. And there goes my and there goes my opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I had come to him with a copywritten script that was ready to go, we could have actually talked business. You gotta take yourself seriously first.
yeah.
That part.
So,
That
all
part.
right, let me get back to the questions. All right,
Okay.
really quick. What could we use less of in black TV and entertainment television?
Go
You want me
ahead.
to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
We. Ooh, I could. All right, we can use less of. To me, we can use less of relationship drama. That's just me. I just like what I mean by like
Okay.
I get it.
drama. You know what I mean? Like
I
the
love a good juicy
but
love triangle though.
no, but Tyler
Tubi.
Perry got that. Yeah, Tyler Perry got that though. He
You
did
know,
all that. Like I've been
he's
seeing
done.
that for years. Like we can use less of that because
Damn.
now because I think okay. So when I watch a white film, they have a perfect romantic film. It's not like
Mhm.
a drama,
Oh, a
but when it
rom
comes,
com.
huh?
Like a rom com? Like a
Yeah.
okay, okay.
But when it comes to us, it's like, oh, she in an abusive relationship and the man in the front yard
Mhm.
watching them getting abused, and all of a sudden he's the man for her. Like, come on. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. Hey, to each his own. Somebody love it. I'm just, I'm just
Billions
giving
of
out my
Okay,
thousands of
so
opinion.
now
people love it. Yeah.
so the one couple drama movie that I absolutely love because I was like, I have a cinematic field day on the set was Malcolm and Marie.
I
That
know.
was
I couldn't watch it. I mean, okay, I watched it once, but it was so triggering.
It was
I could not watch it
look,
again.
it was extremely triggering. Don't get me wrong, but
Mm-mm.
I would have had a cinematic field day on this set.
Now, what's crazy is
Jesus, like the way the
visually,
house was built, and oh
yes.
my, oh I was like, oh my god, I will have a field day
Then
out.
it was in black and white. Visually, it was the shit.
Yes,
But the story
but
was so
it was
triggering.
extremely triggering. I had my
Mhm.
blood pressure pills next to me. It was extremely.
Baby
Oh,
Denzel's son was about to
listen,
catch a 1-2 through the screen. Him and Zendaya. I was like, girl, shut up. And it,
I love that movie. Now I'm gonna
one,
watch it. Look, I'm gonna
one
watch
and
it
done.
again. I loved it. But
One and
anyway,
done.
another one thing I think we need to get rid of is like the stereotypicalness, which is kind of backing off what you said. It's like the stereotypicalness of a black person in the movie as well. Because I'm gonna tell you what I could not stand.
Mhm.
When and I only watched 15 minutes of it because I'm like maybe I'm getting old or something like that and I can't stand it. Like the when they tried to redo the Good Times in the cartoon.
Girl, girl. You got to. It's on the list. You got to it before I
I don't
could.
know why you said that first. That right there was so triggering to me. But go
That's
ahead,
why
go
when you
ahead,
asked the question, that's why I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna say something now. I'm gonna say
go
something.
ahead.
Go
That
ahead.
right
But
there.
Let's talk about it. Let's.
I agree. I
it
agree.
was absolute. I literally,
Trash.
literally only watched 15 minutes. That's it. It was too, like I said, I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting older or I don't know. It's just like this is too niggerish.
It's not you. It's not you.
It's not me.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
this is from someone who watches multiple mediums, including anime. That
Okay.
story was trash.
It was
There was no character
absolutely.
development, not even a black person at the helm other than Stephen motherfucking Curry, who plays basketball. And out of respect for the original Good Times, I watched the first episode and a half. Once I got to the baby selling drugs with
Oh, that.
the baby and the rapper, the baby, I was
Wait.
done.
I
It,
stopped when the roach started singing in the shower. I said, "This is it for me." So I was like, oh, I'm done with this. I'm done. There was
It
a
was,
drug dealer baby.
The baby of the family. Remember, he got
Oh,
kicked
that's
out of the house because he sold drugs. And
you.
I mean, what does that have to do
but
with
you
the
know what?
original Good Times at
Somebody
all?
tried to say, and I had to debate they ass off about that, but because they tried to compare it to Baby Kids,
No,
and I
are
was
you,
like, yeah, I was like,
girl?
no, it's like
No,
this.
no. Baby Kids is a cult classic that is relatable. I don't know what Good Times was. What
But
I
Good
saw it be
Times was just
compared to was the Boondocks, and that's when I got pissed because the Boondocks was ahead of its time. It was
absolutely,
inspired by anime. Black people respected it, and it was
absolutely,
relatable and funny. And it featured black people at the helm.
yes.
Yeah.
Stephen
Every
Curry, Stephen
everybody.
Curry
Yeah.
was
That.
it.
That was, yeah, one, like when the part, I think, because I know I did not get past the first episode because I stopped with the on the first episode when they had the little baby at the funeral, and I don't know, I think they had a shootout at the funeral or something. Like, I said, this is enough.
And it got to
I.
like number 8, and I was so disappointed. It didn't stay there long, but I think out of curiosity, out of respect for Good Times, I think people checked it out.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
what I
what
I
think
punked me
too.
off.
this is bad.
Why
I
connect
unfollowed.
it to Good Times? Why?
Yes. Like I unfollowed the actor that was voiced over it because because he advertised it, and I'm like, yo, you because this is first of
They had a
all.
good cast. Don't get me wrong. They
No, they
had
had a great
some.
cast, which makes me
Mhm.
even more mad because, like, yo, y'all didn't read this. Y'all didn't think
Yeah, that's
the
what I
rich.
said. That's what I said too. I was like, so y'all didn't
But
like
remember, we
put us
talked about the
out.
check earlier. Remember
Oh yeah,
what you
That's what I said.
said?
That check.
yeah,
That check.
yeah.
So the original Good Times, the reason why that ended is because he saw it detouring to a way it didn't represent our culture. See,
Right.
at first it had a good meaning, but
Mm.
then it started detouring to what it took the whole meaning of it out of it. So now
Mhm.
when they brought this back, I'm like, oh, that's even worse. And first
So
of all,
yeah,
are you serious right now?
the grandson is still living in these same projects. Like I don't, I was so disappointed in that because we did ask. Now we you got that's why you gotta be careful what you ask for and gotta
Mhm.
listen to stuff like this podcast. Yes, we did ask for black representation. Yes, we have been asking for black multi mediums like
Mhm.
cartoon and anime. You are right. It can't just be the Boondocks forever. Um, but this ain't it. Stephen Curry has never known poverty. What made him think he was the person fit to be a part of this?
I don't think he watched it. I don't think he knew. I just think he heard good times and he was like, all right, I'll produce it.
Has he
I
ever
think
even watched Good Time? Can we be real?
right. I don't think he knew what he was getting into. I don't
What?
think he did. He couldn't.
And
Because if I would have
Seth
saw this
Green? Like,
wrote singing in the shower, I was like, oh nah, let me take this out. That was the first time in life I almost wrote to Netflix. I almost wrote like take this down.
No, yeah, nah, for real. Nah, for real.
it was
Same here.
bad. It was
Same here.
bad.
Cause I was thinking like, okay, ooh, I was like, ooh, this, ooh,
It
ooh.
might be funny.
That's what I
I
said.
see
That's
some
what I said.
hitters
I was
in the
like a cat,
cast.
cat,
Yeah.
cat, and I was like, oh,
This isn't funny at all.
this ain't
This ain't
even.
South Park funny. This ain't
This
Boondocks funny.
ain't.
This
This
is not it
Yes.
at
it's
all.
not it.
Yes.
And you can't whoever compared it to Boondocks, I need to find them because
Yeah.
this is nowhere near the Boondocks.
They speaking of Boondocks, so let's talk about I know Dother, you do watch anime, not
Oh
really,
yeah.
or yeah, okay.
No, yeah.
Okay. So I know you like Pokemon. So there have been requests for more, of black anime type, animation types. But what I have noticed in a lot of my nerd groups
Hmm.
is that, and that's another thing about having black people at the helm. No shade to Stephen Curry. I don't know if I'm even saying his name right. Because
Yeah.
all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If okay, let's say these corporations do what they're supposed to do and they bring in black people, but if these are black people that are anti-black, or if these are black people that are programmed to operate in white supremacy to stay in these spaces, then you are a useless black person because all you're doing is co-signing that we don't need to change, it's okay the way things are,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a black
Hmm.
person and I'm saying it, so believe me. So then you become unhelpful. And I've
Mm.
noticed in a lot of nerd groups, there's a lot of that. They will praise the weakest anime simply because it is Japanese. But then you have something like, don't shoot the messenger to my anime fans, something like Cannon Busters,
Mm.
um, where a black artist did create a black anime. You have, I think Michael B. Jordan and what's his name, Keith. They
Keep
put
the
out
yeah.
they put out a black anime a couple of years on Netflix, and then y'all nail them to the cross and drag them for filth when they're trying to give us what we say we've been asking for. So I'm not saying accept any old garbage just because it's black. Yes, demand quality, but
You t-
don't
you
be unhelpful.
you talking about Yuka Suma?
Yeah, I could
Yuka
say something like that. And we did
Yakusuma.
watch some of it. I didn't. We didn't watch the whole thing. I'll admit I did kind of fall off, but
Yeah,
it's
but that
like
was a real. He was a real samurai.
right. And I don't know if sidebar for all my gamers out there. I don't know if y'all saw that he's been included in what's that game called? And baby, the bigots have been mad, but
Oh yeah, yeah. Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed and baby, they have been mad. But back to
Because
they have been mad.
yeah, it was a real. Because he was a
He was a
real.
real samurai. So I
He's
mean,
a he's part of history. Yeah, you can't get mad, and it's not the Japanese that's complaining. It's the people that's
it's
not
it's
Japanese.
the magma folks. You know who it is. The same ones that was mad about the mermaid. Don't care nothing about Assassin's Creed. Ain't thinking about it, but all of a sudden, yeah. But anyway, that's a different topic. But yeah, so every time I see Cannon Busters mentioned, and we watched it in full and actually enjoyed it,
Yeah,
it's getting
that's true.
drugged by its eyelashes. It's trash.
Mm,
It's mid. It's dark. Okay, I'm not saying take any old thing just because it's black, but when our black creatives try and they give you something decent, don't
mm-hmm.
shit on it because it's black either.
Right. Exactly.
Don't hold our creatives to a standard you're not holding non-black creatives to. Then you become unhelpful, and that's you need to be quiet because if this extra mid ass anime is top quality to you just because it's Japanese, but this project that this black man gave us, full of black people, is mid simply because it's not, that's a problem.
Exactly.
Same thing with
I
rom
agree.
coms. Same thing with any genre. I'm just saying I see that a lot in nerd
Yeah.
groups,
Yeah.
in black nerd groups. But that having those type of people in the rooms where we need people to look like us to be in,
Mhm.
it doesn't help black creatives because all you're doing is, yeah, that little script was cute, but do you really think people are gonna come see it? It's a lot. I can say it because I'm black. It's a lot of black in that, you know. And so now you've got a white executive who maybe is not racist, but it's like, okay, well, he's black and he said that it's no good. So okay,
Well,
business as usual.
I think
Exactly.
they, I think they, and what sometimes we do too. I think we underestimate the power of our money as well.
Bingo. Speak on
So, like, I mean, if it's a movie that we don't like or don't want to watch, like if we all stick together and just boycott that movie and they won't make no money,
that too.
they have to make something with us in it.
Who do you think put Black Panther where it was? When
Mm-hmm.
I went and saw Black Panther, it was full of niggas.
Yeah,
Like, don't get me
and
wrong, white people saw
I
it too.
went two. I think I went the first Black Panther. I think I went 2 or 3 times just
You
because it
did.
was black. Yes,
Girl, that's
yeah.
the film. That film experience is what made me want to cross over from doing stage plays to film because I had never
Mm.
been to a movie other than like you guys heard, but where the crowd, hey, the hypest movie I have ever been to is You Got Served. When I tell you people was in the aisle, I went to
Okay.
Tinseltown, Shreveport stand up, people was in the aisle dancing. It was hype, but
Okay, the hypest movie I ever seen. Like I think I don't know how much older I am than you, but it was Drumline for us.
okay. And I did
It
see drum.
was
I was in eighth grade when
I was
Drumline
just
came
like,
out, so
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you
But
was in
baby,
eighth
You
grade? Oh
Got
yeah, I was in high
Served.
school. And matter of fact, I think I was pregnant when I was in. I think I was. It was my senior year because I think I was
Okay.
pregnant. But yeah, it was for us. It was for us. It was drumline. So yeah, we was making a lot of noise.
So what Ron is saying is absolutely true. When black dollars come together,
Mm-hmm.
it packs a powerful punch.
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely. You got to think about Stump the Yard. You got to think about
Oh yeah.
Love Don't
Yeah.
Cost a Thing.
Yes.
We
Yes.
We got
that
some
was
classics for sure.
we got some
Yeah.
classics, and
Yeah.
we can do it.
Yeah.
They just don't want to. I don't know. It's just, and the crazy part is, like you said, we underestimate our power.
Mm-hmm.
If we just stop supporting until we get to a place of what we feel like is best for us, then they will start advertising as best for us.
Right.
Like, you know, so
I agree. So let's speaking of 50 Cent, something I like about him, I'm not crazy about him as a person because he is a troll for real. But art wise, you gotta give him his props. I don't even like street fiction. As you notice, I did not mention it as a top film. Nothing against it, but hospital shows and street fiction, it has to be really,
yeah,
really good for me to like it. And when I say
yeah.
Power is now officially one of my top 5 shows, he brought the noise of Power. It is
Did
quality. The cinematography, the casting, the
did.
story. Not that last season, but the cinematography, the casting, the storyline,
Hmm.
a main character who is damn near a villain. There was thought and real work put into that show. So why it wasn't racking up Emmys, I don't understand.
Okay, so ooh, what can I
I
say
know
about this?
why, but still, I know why because I've noticed, and
It's
this brings me back to the argument with anime. If it has what we feel sometimes is stereotypical stuff in it, and that's why you have to be careful with some of that. We write it off as ghetto, and others write it off as ghetto. But here's my thing: what is the difference between Power and Breaking Bad? I mean, what is the what? That's why you have to be really careful. You have to be really careful with the stereotype
Breaking
stuff
Bad was
because
good, by the way.
they both
it
were
was.
equally good.
Breaking
I'm
Bad
not.
was
They,
They both
fire.
were equally good. They really were because
Breaking Bad was
both look,
fire.
both had villains who main characters who were practically villains.
Yeah.
hmm
Tommy and what's the little white dude that used to be with Jesse? Same
yeah.
person, different universe.
Uh
So
huh.
they both had quality storylines, good character development, and drugs. So why is Power ghetto, but Breaking Bad is not?
Because crack,
You
meth,
crack,
What?
crack
What
and
is, what
whack.
is crack? But what are
meth.
they? Crack, meth, they're cousins.
They are.
Like
They're
what?
different tax bracket cousins at that.
Ma'am,
Uh,
Right.
I'm just,
ma'am,
Cousins
ma'am,
and
damn
cousins.
well.
just telling you.
Or like, okay,
Different tax bracket cousins. I'm just telling you. I'm just.
or like a let's say P Valley.
I have. You know what? I have not watched the episode of P Valley.
You should watch it. Okay,
Okay.
a lot of people wrote it off as ratchet because they work in a strip club. What? But as far as cinematography, now the main character is trash, and I'm glad to see her go. But everybody else, acting wise, brought it. Character development is there, especially Little Murder.
Okay. So okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say this, and because this is something that this is something that I've had to deal with part of my life as well. Sometimes you can be too good.
Okay,
You get
Mm.
what I'm saying?
elaborate.
hmm
Yeah.
Because even with, and I'm still upset about this. The Lovecraft Craft.
Oh man, Lovecraft Country. How could I forget to mention them? Like
That show, that season was that show was too good from
quality, quality.
head to toe, in only one season. Why?
I mean, they finished the book though.
I was gonna say the nerd said that it technically was completed, but Misha Green was not done.
Well,
So
she was not done exactly.
and I can't believe I forgot that show. But when
Yeah,
I say black horror at its finest,
That
yeah.
was great.
at my big grown age, I was scared. I had to used to watch like Disney after I watched Little Crab because like it was scary.
It
It
was,
was
yeah. So
good.
I just think that some shows with African Americans are just that I don't think they don't they probably expect it to flop, and when it doesn't, they don't know what to do with it.
I love it. Man, that's a good point. Okay.
I agree 100% with that. I'm running to a charger. Y'all might see me run.
That's
I
Like
was
I'm
wondering what
power
was
walking.
going on. Okay, and that's another one that I don't
Yeah,
even
I mean,
think
the
it
iPhone
got
15 sucks, man.
nominated for an Emmy.
mm-hmm.
And it definitely was
For
quality.
nothing. So trash.
I'm talking about quality cinematography, quality special effects. This is HBO money.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
are the people that made Game of Thrones. This is
Yes.
HBO money.
yeah.
So I don't know if y'all remember the episode with Emmett Till. which oh my gosh, where the white lady
Yeah.
put herself through what Emmett Till went through. Girl, I
Yeah.
cried, and that wasn't even Emmett Till.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
it didn't look fake or phony or funny because the blood was looked like Kool Aid.
Right.
They brought the noise, and
Yeah.
we never heard from that show again.
It
No
went hard.
Emmys,
They,
no
that was
nothing. That's what put Jonathan Majors on the map, if we can be honest.
it did.
Did we
Cause
know him before then? I'm to be honest, But we saw how
no.
that story went. But I'm so glad you brought them up. I don't know how I didn't have them on
Mhm.
the list, but we were asking for black fantasy, and these weren't just some run of the mill slaves who can't read. These were scientists.
Yes.
These women, Hippolyta
Yeah.
was a scientist.
I'm about
Bro,
to die.
Yeah.
these people were smart. They were studying and
Yeah,
understanding
still.
magic and science. They actually intertwined real historical events like Emmett
Huh?
Till into the show. It was
Yeah.
quality TV. It really
Yeah.
was. And hey Chanel,
No,
I
she
can hear
can't.
you. I can
She
hear
said, "Hey." She said she can hear you. She heard you. Like, you about to film right here?
you. But I'm so glad you
Yes,
brought that show up because it got away from me. And even as scary as my behind was of it, I was ready for season two.
Yeah.
But
right.
they did Underground the same way. I don't know. Misha Green is quality because she
Mhm.
did both shows. And it's like as soon as she gets going, up, sorry, the
Yeah.
funding, up, sorry. I think they
Yep.
said Underground costs too much. It's just like,
Oh.
ain't no dragons in this.
Cause
Like,
It didn't cost too much. I don't think it was some reason it seemed like all black shows don't get past a certain amount of seasons, and they
mhm.
just don't want to do it because guess what? Friends, how many seasons they have?
too damn
Frasier,
many.
how many seasons does Frasier have?
Oh yeah.
Uh, you know what I mean? The list goes on how many seasons they get. Shoot, I feel like Martin could have went longer. You know what I
I'm so
mean?
glad you brought up Martin because comedy wise, I know you feel comedy is oversaturated, and maybe it is,
No, that
but in
no,
the
it.
'90s,
That's what I'm saying. That's the part, right? That's
he was ahead of his time comedically to
he
me.
Absolutely.
was.
To
He
me,
Absolutely.
was.
like as an adult, you can put on the episode with the dog and the interrogation, or when Tommy got the little Halloween episode where Tommy got what's that word, taken over by the demon,
Yeah.
or the that ain't no damn puppet. You could put that on today, and it's just as hilarious as it was
I finna
before.
say we laugh like we ain't never seen it before. That's
Because
wild.
I would have loved to be in that studio audience, and it wasn't just Martin. Everybody got to. The women
Yep.
got to be funny. Pam was
Yeah.
hilarious, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody. And what?
Everybody.
Which I didn't. I just found out that the cast didn't know it was a fake dog. They had an actual dog on set, but Martin decided to keep the fake dog because the fake dog was a stand-in for the real dog. And Martin's like, no, I'm gonna use this fake dog. So they filming didn't even know.
I bet they wanted to crack up so bad. Oh,
So I rewatched the episode. You can see Tommy about to break character at the dog start barking. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
that's
Martin,
hilarious. I will
that's
say this: like shows like Living. I'm glad we got to grow up during that era with shows
Mhm.
like Fresh
yes,
Prince, Family Matters, and
Mhm.
again, these weren't like because I know that's a complaint. It's stereotypical. These weren't stereotypical.
Right.
no,
Right.
Running a mill. No, these were smart people with families. There was an active father, there was an active mother. The children
Mhm.
weren't
yep,
selling drugs like this baby on Good Times. They were family oriented shows surrounding actual lives of black people. And no, not
Right.
crackheads, actual lives of regular everyday black people. So I'm so
Mhm.
glad we got to grow up in that era. And technically they were on mainstream like Fox
Right.
is a
Right.
mainstream, ABC, TJF, that was
Right.
mainstream. So that was
Right.
really bigger than we give it credit for. I think because we lived during it.
yeah,
Like because we saw Family Matters, it was like which is actually written by Jewish men, I believe, but
Mm.
still. Um because we grew up with that in our living rooms, it doesn't seem like such a privilege. Whereas now it's kind of fleeting. It's like, damn, where is today's Martin? Like, where is today's Family Matters? Or did I overlook them? Maybe.
no,
Okay, so
uh,
do we
go ahead.
count? Well, these are shows that I haven't really just like watched.
Okay.
So do we count shows like My Wife and Kids?
Well, that's
I
over
do.
with now. Yeah, that was we were in middle school when that came out.
Oh, how old was I? Girl, you make me feel.
But I
I
mean,
know.
it's off the air now. So what have we now? I
Oh,
include
oh,
my
what we
wife and
have
kids.
now.
I
Oh,
include
okay,
my
so
wife
that
and kids with that. Yeah,
I
like
okay, okay, I get what you're saying. Oh, what we have? Oh, we ain't got shit now. Good
No, I
times.
mean,
girl,
yeah, we have.
We don't have.
You said good time.
she better stop.
Yeah, because if you
Oh,
They
really
need
think
their asses
about
over
it,
that.
if you really think about it, there's no good.
Abbott. Okay, I take it back. Abbott
that's
Elementary.
my show.
That show there.
That show is beyond hilarious. That show is
This season, okay,
beyond hilarious.
this season they brought their A game. Like, okay,
Did
the first two
did
seasons was and there even were moments where it was a little corny and over the top. But this season, oh, they
they
in their
brought
comedy
it?
bag.
Yeah,
Hilarious,
that
hilarious. I
show.
respect her because she had one viral video, disappeared from the internet, and came back with a TV show.
Uh huh.
Yeah, well, she was on the Black Lady comedy sketch show, but I ain't gonna lie, I
Yeah,
didn't find that funny. Just no shade. Shout out to you, ladies. Comedy is subjective. I just didn't find it that funny. But Abbott this season anyway. Oh
Yeah.
shit,
yeah.
man!
I think, I
Every
think,
episode has been hilarious.
I think Robert Townsley's daughter was the writer of that show or create something like that. The
Okay.
black, yeah.
Robert
I,
Townsend.
hey, his daughter.
My bad, Mr. Townsend. And he is a huge influence.
No,
Speaking of him, let's speak on him, right? How does his name always get left out of the conversations of like of like, okay, we talk about the shit. We talk about the Wayans, we talk
uh,
about Martin, we talk about Spike Lee for sure, but some kind of way, Robert Townsend always as if he didn't make the Five Heartbeats, as if he didn't make Meteor
come
Man, as if he didn't do
on.
Hollywood Shuffle, as if he didn't give us the Parenthood. Like, is it because he does family oriented stuff? Is that why maybe?
I don't know. I can't answer because the things that I support, the next man doesn't. You know what I mean? Which is so weird to me because it's like that's the like the cross between music these days. The music
Mm-hmm.
that they listen to, I don't listen to. I
Right.
don't see how half of these people famous right now. Just being honest, I don't see how these people making music right now. It doesn't make sense. You saying that you want to be this type of person, but you around here listening to this that's influencing your kids. Like, 'cause we don't have TV shows where, like you said, Family Matters, where a dad is being a husband also, and you got a kid it's Urkel, not a thug, not
Mm-hmm.
no drug dealer. He's a smart genius building robots that aggravates his neighbor. Hilarious. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
it was definitely before its time for sure. I think okay, there have been attempts. It was a superhero show on Netflix that me and my boys enjoyed, but it got canceled. You know what I'm talking about?
Raising Dion.
Yes.
That show was fire. I was so
But that's another
upset.
one that in the nerd groups they would drag it for filth. They would call it trash. They would call
They
it
was.
mid, and
I love
I
the
just didn't
raisin. Look,
understand it.
I got upset. I love the raisin
Then we
deal.
had Michael B. Jordan in that bitch. Like what? Like,
Mm.
but it's canceled now.
It's
Yep, they canceled it just because. Dude, that was the perfect film. My
I
son
loved
definitely
it.
loved that film.
We
Yeah,
loved it, but a lot of, like I said, that particular group, um, it's cheesy. It's mid. But here comes some all right ass.
Stranger Things.
Hold up. Off of Stranger Things now. Off of
watch
Stranger
it.
Things
Watch your
now.
tone.
Hold up
Watch
now.
But
your
look,
tone.
but
Watch your tone.
It's
think
quality.
about it. Same powers, same powers,
That's true.
Well, no,
same
I can't. I
powers.
can't. I can't.
But no,
But
I'm
I
not
will say
comparing.
this:
I'm not comparing the two because Stranger
they're
Things. I love
different.
Stranger Things. I
It's
love that
more
show,
horror. Yeah, it's more horror
and it's
than
based.
Raising Dion
Yeah,
in the '80s. So I ain't
but
gonna
it's
lie, it's a top
80s.
five
It's
for
I like
me.
the vibe. It's a top five. Yes, I
But
agree. That
but similar to that question I asked earlier, if it was a group of five black boys from the '80s, do you think Stranger Things would be as big as it is? With everything the same except the boys are black, L is black, and there's like one token white guy.
I feel like it could be if it was. but it's like I'm in the middle. I don't see it
I would
happening
still
because
watch it for sure.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. For me, I know I will watch it for sure.
I probably
But
like
would
it
they watch
better.
it? Would
That's what
they
I'm saying.
watch
Would
it?
they watch it? Would they even give it a chance? So I think Raising Dion was cute. It had a good storyline. It was very wholesome. Black Lightning is another one. Because we asked for super after Black Panther came out, it was like they kind of eased Black Lightning on in there, and I stuck with it until China left the show, and
It,
then it was like
it should have been Static Shock to me.
people have been asking for Static for years.
I don't know why they did Black. I don't know why they did Black Lightning. No, no, you know,
No
respect to all
shade.
the cast, no shade at all. But I feel like it should have
Cause
been
I
Static
know
Shock first because he has a fan base. Is a kid. I mean, I think it would have been more
easier to digest for some
relatable.
people. Yeah.
Exactly. And then plus, Static Shock had a white friend, Richie. So it would have worked perfectly. You know
Okay.
what I mean? But hey, to each his own.
To
They
each his
DC gonna do
own.
what they want to do.
Cause I know Michael. Oh, one of my favorite duos. Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler is a huge influence of mine. He actually wrote
Mhm.
Black Panther, and directed Black Panther. So I think he will always have a home at Marvel, and I do believe he's working on the X-Men project, or they're trying to get him to direct the X-Men project.
Mhm.
Yep, they
But
trying
the
to do.
two of them have been trying to get Static Shock off the ground for years. So there are people in the trenches trying, but there are people over them that have to say yes or no. Like,
Yes, yep,
yeah, he got money, and yeah, Michael B. Jordan got money too. But do they got Marvel money? No.
Right.
Kevin Feige has to sign off on that. He has to be like, I like this. I think it could do well. He signed off on the Marvels, but I mean,
yeah,
so there are still, even with people with big names, there's still systems in place
yep.
that kind of. So I'm not jumping down black creatives' throats like you're
Mhm.
horrible, slap, slap, slap. It's your fault. Get off your ass. Even the ones that are doing the work are still meeting roadblocks.
I
You
can say,
gotta, you
I
got,
mean, 'cause-
you
I'm
gotta,
sorry.
you
Go
gotta
ahead.
send Seth Rogen to speak for him. Like he ain't gonna change that. Just send Seth Rogen in to speak for him. He'll get the money for him.
And then we are in systems that's not made for us anyway.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh yeah, that's for everything.
Film
It's
was
everything.
not
Right.
made with black people in mind at all. At
Yeah.
all.
Films, NFL, NBA, music,
All that.
they just all that.
All that.
But what I love about us, that's why I'm saying I'm not coming down on my fellow black creators. Baby, we are some waymakers. We are some innovators. If you
Absolutely.
don't invite us to the table, black exploitation, the 70s was filled with those movies. Oh, you don't want
Mhm.
us in horror? We'll make Blackula. Like, one
Mhm.
thing we gonna do is make a way. And that's why I don't shit on Tubi, because it's just modern day.
It's modern day.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just, okay, there's no platform because the theaters are still there and they're still popping it, yeah. But also streaming has become really big since COVID.
Mhm.
So Tubi might, have a bullet coming in that went that way and then that way when you looked again. But
Yeah.
it is a platform that is available. So, do I think it has the potential to become as big as the Netflix? It would need better original content. Like a
Mhm.
hit show has to come to Tubi that Netflix can't get their hands on, and they
Mhm.
have to hold on to it, and people have
Mhm.
to watch it for them to ever really compete.
Now, don't sleep on Tubi. I meant to mention this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've been watching Tubi originals. They are getting these
They
money.
they got some good ones for
They got
sure.
some money. Yeah, they got some money and good quality and everything. And I'm like, wow, they're making money off of us and using their money to shoot the project they want to shoot.
Hmm.
That
Mhm.
that's crazy.
Oh Lord. So my last question is, what encouragement do you have for black creators who are small time? Like, what, so now that we've had this conversation, what can we, and also to each other, because ain't
Mhm.
nobody here, no Kardashians. So I mean,
Right.
what can we advise to black creators out there who are just this close to giving up? Because I know y'all know how that feels. I know I do.
Yeah,
I
of
be
course.
ready to quit 1,000 times a
A
day.
thousand times. I can't believe I've been writing stories for a decade. I'm like, shit. I really don't. I'm like, damn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
10 years of this, Lord, like, and then you got some little chump on TikTok that blew up overnight from doing this, like, like what the f? What do you people want? But what encouragement or advice rather can we give to fellow Black creatives to not give up in the fight, especially now that AI has entered the chat?
All right. I
That
would tell
nigga.
I would tell creators to learn how to use AI. Start your own platform.
Hello.
I
If you
mean, it's
can't beat
there.
them, join them.
Facts.
Yeah. I mean, because the wheel is was created as old, but now there's new stuff that we have. So it's basically a lot of stuff that we have in the palm of our hands that we can just do on our own. But there's a lot of us that's still doing the old school process.
Okay.
That's taking longer. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is how I see it for me. If I see myself getting older and I didn't do what I really wanted to do, will I regret it?
Amen.
You know what I
Same.
mean?
Yes.
So that keeps me wanna keep pushing and keep going and find out the path. And knowing what you really want to do. Like if you can't live a day without it, then you should do it.
Mm,
And that's how I see it.
okay.
Like and don't do it because you want eyes on you, you trying to get following, you trying to get, all that's gonna come because it's your purpose.
Facts.
Just keep going, just keep pushing.
Okay.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That was good, Miss Ron.
Sweet.
So,
So sweet. So for me, I basically tell people. For first of all, I when people ask me about stuff, I don't know why people ask my crazy tail advice. I'd be like, "You sure you want to ask me?" I'm like, "Oh my god." Uh, I definitely encourage independency. Um,
Yes.
because some people are it's like people are still waiting to for lack of better words, ready to get signed.
hmm,
So I always encourage independency because you can make your own platform easily. It's too easy to make your own platform. So you don't have to wait to get signed by a major podcast deal or a major record deal or I mean, there are even ways you can start your own radio station because I'm on internet radio as well. So like people always ask me about getting on the radio. Like you can make your own radio station as well. So I definitely encourage independency.
okay.
Um, and I just tell people to keep going whether you have one audience member or 1,000. I just encourage people to keep going because it only take one person to change your life. So that one person that's viewing your podcast or the one person that's listening to your radio show, they can be the person to be like, yo, let me take you to the next level.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's happened too many times. So like you only
Facts.
need one person. That's why I tell people I've never worried about or complained about if somebody don't share my stuff or if somebody don't come to my show or I'm still gonna keep going.
Yeah.
So
You
I
can
just
live your
encourage
life the
people
way.
I just encourage people to keep going and I stress the role of being independent, doing independent stuff.
Okay. And to piggyback off of
Huh?
that, he must don't know we can hear him.
Huh?
To piggyback off of that, ownership is important.
Absolutely.
Um, yes, with signing contracts, signing deals, getting signed, if you will, getting an agent, there does come exposure and potentially more money.
Mhm.
But also, there is loss of ownership. There are
Mhm.
several hands that have to be fed before the food gets to your plate.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So, what I respect about, like you said, you don't even have to build your own platform. The white folks did that. YouTube already exists. Like Issa Rae started in college
Yeah.
making shorts. And then for real got a hold of it. And then so her Kickstarter started to have from just friends and family donating to celebrities as big as for real.
Mhm. Mhm.
So same with Quinta. She started with Vine. You got some money, so start where you are. And I know that stage is discouraging. I think we see so many people that it seems like they were overnight sensations that came up out of nowhere, and we get
Yeah.
discouraged because we're in the thick of that building stage. But I promise you, most of your favorites had to build. And I think if artists were more open about that
Mm-hmm.
and more realistic, it would encourage others. Because remember, Chadwick Boseman could not even afford the acting program at his school. Denzel Washington had
Right.
to pay for that.
Right.
Right.
So, and he is the Black Panther, or he was, rest in peace. But don't despite small beginnings, and
Mm-hmm.
also take the craft seriously. If you can't afford school, find a mentor, get in YouTube
Mm-hmm.
University, and always be a student. Like, just because I went to film school and got a degree don't mean I'll stop learning. You can
Mm-hmm.
always
Mm.
be taught something, because especially entertainment is ever changing. Movies don't look the same today as they did 20 years ago.
You ain't lying, boy. Cause sometimes when I be on Netflix and be like, let me watch something I used to watch, I be like, oh my God.
Times have
We
changed.
enjoy
The
we
cameras
enjoy
have
this kind of
changed.
thing
Yes.
now.
I'm talking about effects be so bad, especially on them horror films that
Terrible.
had me scared as a kid.
Yes.
Jason Goes to Hell
Terrible.
looks ridiculous now. But
Ridiculous.
in
Yes.
1994, it was scary. So
Yeah.
you can't be stagnant in something that art is ever changing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to evolve with it. So I remember you mentioned comedy earlier, and I think maybe that's a topic. Maybe that should be its own podcast. Comedy. There are a lot of comedians that do not want to evolve,
Mm-hmm.
and they are getting left behind.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's not fair. It's not right. But you have to. Sometimes you got to change with the times, or you got to make the times
Right.
change to you.
Right.
Right.
Or
Right.
there has to be some change up in there. So I would say, and I'm speaking myself, do not get discouraged with small beginnings. I don't care who your favorite is. Michael Jackson, they started in talent shows. Don't
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
despise them, because when you get found, A, you'll already have the experience. This won't be your first rodeo, if you will, because I might have only did talent shows. I might have only did little short film contests. But I've been in rooms like this before. You're not
Mm-hmm.
dealing with some little black girl that's wet behind the ears, or some young black man that don't know nothing that you could take advantage of. No, this is
Mm-hmm.
not my first. It might have been a smaller rodeo, but it's not my first one. So you
Right.
can
Right.
come into those rooms when your time comes, with the professionalism, with the knowledge. Take the craft serious. Don't just have talent, because that is not enough. Because there will be someone who is half as talented as you, who will get where you're trying to go, because they put in the work you refuse to put in.
Right.
Mm.
Talent isn't, and that's something I've noticed with us too. We have so many talented, rappers, singers that just either end up getting caught up in street life, or don't really go anywhere. And it's because talent was all they had.
Mm-hmm.
Even Zendaya said, I'm getting bigger. So I wanted to learn how to read these contracts. I wanted to know what these words meant when I looked at them. Because she's coming over from Disney to like $20 million a film. I need to know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And if, as big as she is, if she had to learn her craft, who are we to be like, the talent is enough, gotta make a way? No. Faith without works is dead. Do what, I mean, don't despise small beginnings. That's all I'm saying. And also believe in the power of the black dollar. We have a
Mm-hmm.
lot more buying power than we think. Ask Michael Jordan. That's why he keep on putting out them same damn shoes every year for the past 30 years. Why? Because we will buy them hoes up.
Uh-huh.
Everybody sees our buying power except us.
Yeah.
That's true.
Exactly.
Why do you think Korean people own hair stores? Because they know there's money there. Like, yes, there's poverty, and yes, there's systems in place. Oh, but there's money too.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny because that house don't even be in the neighborhood they business at.
At all. I have worked for a couple of hair shops. I know they have a community where they live amongst their own. They got a
Yeah.
church. All they fool with is Korean people. They put each other on. We gotta have that same mindset. Even if you don't like whatever film that person made, go to the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Repost the flyer. That's free. We gotta
We're
think
the
one band, one sound.
we're the only people, the only culture that spend our check under 30 minutes on other things rather than ourselves.
Mm. I
Like
can believe that.
Koreans, they recycle in their own culture at least 24 times. You know what I mean? Like when you start
Yep.
thinking about that, it's like, wow. That's so true.
It is true. The hair store I worked in, everybody except the four little black girls that they had working the floor to identify with the customers was Korean. That man's lawyer, his accountant, even the people he brought his products from, all
Mm-hmm.
Korean.
Mm,
I'm not
mm.
saying strive to be like Asians, but we can learn a thing or two.
Mm-hmm.
It
First,
shouldn't
you got
be just me. I would be famous and fuck everybody else.
no. It's okay to be a lawyer. It's okay to be a doctor. It's okay to be a coroner. It's okay to be the head sheriff, a mayor. It's nothing wrong with nothing. Neither one of those. We need
We
those too.
we need them to because guess what? Contracts are presented in art. You need
Yeah.
lawyers to look over those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are one of them type of lawyers that's just happy to be in the room and ain't really looking out for nobody, I'm not having you look over my contract.
Right.
Because like we said, all skin folk ain't kin folk. Sometimes we are so happy to be in the room and just glad to be in there that we forget there's a sea of ancestors and a community behind us that we really could be helping. And I understand that because like we said, there's always one token black. Like in Stranger Things, they have one black friend. There can only be one. And
It can only be one.
there can only be one. So it's unfortunate that it has been that way. But if we really start coming together with this art thing and demanding better, we should have boycotted the shit out of Netflix until they took Good Times down.
Mm-hmm. I
To
agree.
For
let them
real,
know
for
to
real.
never play
I
with us like that
agree.
again. Just
I
if
agree.
they ever think to greenlight some bullshit like that again, they will look back on how much money they lost.
I agree. That I don't want to talk about it.
We
That
should
shit.
have stopped going to Steph Curry games, quit buying his shoes, all of that shit. Because how could you?
How could you?
It's a lot. He had yeah, yeah. I
Did you
got
read
mad.
the script, sir? And I thought it was gonna be funny. Ain't no way you thought you saw humor in that. You probably never even seen a roach in real life, and you thought that people would find that funny. Like, sir,
A drug dealing baby. You wouldn't
sir.
sign with Nike because they wouldn't put a Bible scripture on your shoe, but you signed on good
Listen,
times.
I couldn't believe my ears when I heard it, and I had to go Google it and make sure it wasn't a lie. And he is definitely one of the three executive producers on that show. And I'm like, the Bible thumper, that nigga. Are we, I thought his brand was Christianity, and they cussing up a storm, selling drugs, prostitution, and you
Drug
put
dealing
your name
baby.
on this.
They
Hmm.
still in man. They, that's
The baby in a shootout. Like, come on, like what? You thought that was funny, sir?
with waves.
Forgot the waves. Oh, it. But we have been asked to boycott Netflix before, and the person got talked about. So
Ain't
another topic for another day. I
doing that.
but
we so temporary,
girl,
but
you took the girl,
Man,
that's another
man.
time.
girl.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Well, that's another. That's a whole
No,
nother
no, no. You
podcast.
you took the words out my mouth. We don't stand for nothing. We don't stand together on shit.
We so temporary. So
On
temporary.
we couldn't even back calling up for a season. So like we couldn't because why? Football is more important. Let the men get
Right.
blackballed and everything. We just we so strong that we are weak.
Man, could you see how many people that's yeah, that's so true. Because Colin Kaepernick should have been playing. He should
Should
have
have
been
been.
playing.
Yeah.
But you got all your friends like, oh yeah, I don't want to ruin the check. Man, if every black person would have stopped playing in the NFL to do a strike to bring him back,
Mm-hmm.
there would
Oh
have
yeah.
been no NFL.
There wasn't
There would
no
have been none.
at all. Now, I mean, we're talking football, but still, with entertainment, is very much so. Like for years, people aren't necessarily crazy about Tyler Perry's brand of comedy, and we do a lot of complaining. But, and I'm not saying put Tyler Perry out of business because I'm a fan. I am inspired by him, but not forcing him to step his quality and his game up and his storyline and storytelling up is our fault.
Mm.
We made him a billionaire. So
That's
if
true.
y'all are tired of him making a minstrel show out of black women, that's our fault. Cause I ain't gonna lie, like I ain't watched Medea. I did. So I mean, I also didn't have a complaint about it. I just didn't take it to heart. But there are a lot of people who did complain. Okay, are you equally supporting like a David E. Talbert? Do you even know who that is? Or the woman that
Mm-hmm.
wrote Drumline, who also wrote ATL? Why
Mm-hmm.
aren't they as famous as Tyler Perry?
Right.
I don't even know her name. I'm embarrassed. But a black woman wrote those films.
Yeah.
Even was it Meet the Peoples, the movie The Peoples that he
Okay, so but you also have to think of this. I think it's also what we entertain because we sometimes we don't. A lot of these people who have went viral overnight is because we entertain foolishness.
agree. And not just us, we're not shitting on black people because the white TikTokers are
Oh
far
yeah.
more
Oh
popular and
yeah.
they don't do
Yeah.
nothing. They don't do nothing but a little stiff dance and got 30 million followers.
And
So
cook food all in the toilet and on the in the sink and
I mean, foolishness, nothing
yeah.
funny. And we got black content creators who are editing sound effects, changing outfits, putting on practically a show in 30 seconds who have
Mm-hmm.
10,000 followers or less. So we got to do better. Part of it is systems, yes. And some things we can do something about, but a lot
Mm-hmm.
of it is out of our control. But also, like she said, okay,
We're
you know,
scared to be different. We're scared to think about outside of what we've been fed. I ain't gonna say we because I ain't part of that. But
agree.
some people are scared to think outside of the box and do something different and new. You know what I mean? Because it's like even if so, like when you said like why those people from ATL, the writer from Atlanta, ATL, not famous, but I think the difference is between her and Tyler Perry is that Tyler Perry had over 15 scripts that he already shot, and it was just a money grab for a production to be like, hey, let's turn these
Yeah.
stage plays into actual movies. You got 15 of them. I'm gonna give you a large amount of money to film all your projects so we can get our money back. So I mean, and then also because we was entertaining that, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
I ain't gonna
Like
lie. I've
everybody,
seen,
everybody,
yeah,
mama had a bootleg. Everybody, mama at the barbershop, you was seeing
That's
Tyler
true.
Perry stage play
right.
somewhere, and they
Yeah.
saw that.
Honestly, I like the stage. Can I be honest? I like stage plays better than the films.
Me too.
Like,
Me
and
too.
Yeah,
I'm not. And this
Yeah,
isn't
me
to
too.
shit
Me
on
too.
Tyler Perry in any form or fashion, but
right.
he should not be a monolith. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's an audience for him. I watch it. I mean, is all of them humdingers? No. And I do notice that he is trying to step outside of his box. Like he did the Jazz Man's Blues. He did Alex Cross. So he's trying to come up out that box that Medea put him in, and I respect it. But he should not be a monolith. It shouldn't just be him. Like, okay,
Right,
and
that's
Spike
true.
Lee occasionally, you know what I'm saying? And Spike Lee don't even like Tyler Perry, so they're beefed out. It's just like, and then there's Kenya Barris. There's like five or six, and it should not be that way because where are our fantasy writers? Where are our rom com writers?
Mm-hmm.
Everything isn't a church drama.
What about Kenya Barrett first? You know what? I
I'm
didn't.
not a fan, but I mean, well, okay. I like Blackish. Blackish is good. I like Blackish.
Yeah, you didn't like Black AF.
I did a podcast on it. I watched it, but you can tell he is in an interrelation. You can tell he's married to a white woman. So
Oh, guys,
he
yeah,
very much
that's true.
so makes that his personality. Um,
I agree. I can see that.
I'm not against it, but there are certain projects, and then I see he's on it, and I'm like, oh, that explains it. So I mean, I ain't knocking nobody that's able to do it because it's a hard industry to get into. But it shouldn't just be a good little 12 of us. You know what I'm saying? Like the disciples. It shouldn't just
Mm-hmm.
be Ava
Yeah.
DuVernay, Issa Rae, Tyler Perry. Like, there should be options. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
not just Steven Spielberg. You got plenty of white directors to choose from. So why is there only six or seven and three of them women, to choose from of black directors? Oh yeah, Ryan Coogler, my bad. So and he's still kind of on the outskirts. So he in there, but he's not in there. So like I think what Ron said is true.
Yeah.
You can't rush it. Maybe we're coming from zero to trying to get to 100, and it's gonna take time. The film industry itself is barely 100 years old. So like
I'm
black
intrigued.
people, mhm,
I'm intrigued to see what his name is it Cord James, the director for American Fiction.
okay, yes, I enjoyed that. Yes, that was
Yeah,
unique.
I'm intrigued to see what else he puts out.
And that was his first, was it not?
That was his first one, 10 years in the making.
Impressive, impressive. The
Mm.
only
And
thing
he's
about that is if that's been his baby for 10 years, it does he know how to create something else? Because this is art
right.
and people assume because art is easy to consume that it's just as easy to create.
Yeah,
So you got to learn. Like I can't. That's why I don't shit on Tyler Perry. You got 15 scripts. Do you know how hard it is to write 15 scripts?
yeah,
That's work. So I mean, it might not be Shawshank Redemption, but Medea Boo will do. You
Mhm.
know,
yeah,
like so. That's why I do still respect what he does, and also I like you mentioned him. I hope that's not a roadblock for him. I hope he can.
right.
I spent so much of my life on that one project. Now it's like, damn.
Man, or what's his name? Is it Jemery? He directed Harder They Fall and The Book
Love
of
him.
Clarence.
Yes. Okay.
Mm.
And the Heart They Fall was excellent black
It
western.
was.
Excellent. Excellent. So I'd love to see more from him too. I think Tyler Perry is more famous, pretty much. You know what? Because he's in his films. I think that's what it is. They're more behind the scenes, and he's out front with a dress on. So I mean, of course, he's going to have more notoriety, or people may be able to recognize him more
Mhm.
than like Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler is not in his films; he's just
Right.
directing. So that may be a point. I don't know. So I don't want to take away from what they've done or what he's done because it's a hard industry to get into. Period. And
Yeah. See, yeah. You
like
got
the Heart of
certain
They Fall
people.
was good. It was
It
really
was
good.
great. It's one of the classics to me.
Yeah,
I
I
liked it.
think it should be held as a Western classic, and I think they need to come on with part two.
Yeah. And I think that because you have people that watch or listen to music. See,
Mm,
I'm the person that I listen to music and I want to know who's behind this.
right, right,
Because those are the ones that put this together. The artist is the one that just recited, right?
right, right.
So it's saying when I watch films, I'm like, oh yeah, he's a great actor. He's a great actor.
Who
He's a
wrote
great
this?
actor. But
Right.
who was the director though? Who directed
Hmm.
these actors that gave them this freedom to do this? Like
Right.
let's I look up everybody, but it's crazy how I think the directors is like one of the safest route to go because you can make so much money being a director and not the whole everybody don't know who you are.
True, and that's what
And I
I
think
prefer.
yes, yeah, and the only people know who you are is real filmmakers, you know.
True. Like I don't even write under my real name. Because I'm preparing for that day. I wish to keep my privacy. Tyler Perry wants to be up front. I respect it.
Yeah,
That's not me. You're not gonna see Courtney in no Courtney Lyric film. I'm a writer, so I'll be back here. I let the people that want to be out front. So I'm not gonna lie. This has been a great conversation. To the black creatives listening, look, don't give up. You gotta learn to roll with the punches, and you gotta take the craft seriously. Don't despise small beginnings and black people or community as a whole. If y'all genuinely mean what y'all be complaining about, and I see the complaints. If y'all tired of slavery, if y'all tired of drug dealers, woody woo. When someone tries to put out quality content, you got to support it. The only
Mhm.
thing that these big wigs respect is money and numbers.
yeah.
And sometimes they don't respect that because I don't feel like Lovecraft Country had poor numbers. I have to go look it up, but I don't think it didn't
No,
do
they
well.
didn't. They did not have poor numbers. You couldn't tell me they had poor numbers. Lovecraft Country was watched by everybody.
At least all the
You
black
know,
folks I knew. I don't know the white people watch or not, but like it was quality TV. And it's like every
yeah.
time Misha goes to create something, yank. And it's like, what? So
The only we didn't mention before we go the writer and creator of Grey's Anatomy.
oh, how can we forget Shonda?
I
Okay.
can't forget.
Here's my thing about Shonda. And I love me some Shonda. Don't get me wrong. I don't fuck
Yeah,
with Grey's Anatomy because, like I said, I'm not crazy about hospital shows. But I think she played the game right. Now I know I want to ask y'all: do y'all think if Meredith Grey wore Keisha Grey, that that show would be as popular as it would?
No.
Probably
It's
not.
sad. It's sad to say no,
But she did
because
what
you.
she had to do, like Ron said, to get in the door. And then
Mm.
she was able to do Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, and put black women in the forefront. Then she was able to
Yeah,
do Bridgerton and put black people in the forefront. But
sure
she
did.
had to get in there. And she actually started her first big thing was she co-wrote the script for the Dorothy Dandridge movie
Hmm.
with Holly
Well,
Berry.
you know what's crazy though? Scandal, I like, and How to Get Away with Murder, I like too. But
Scandal was fire. Yeah.
it was still in a form of not representing black women, because Scandal, she was sleeping with the married man,
The
Mm.
president. But he was the
the
president of that
president. You
whole
know what I mean? And How to Get Away with Murder, you teaching students how to kill somebody and get away with it. Like, it's still.
How to Get Away with Murder was fire
I
though.
It
didn't
was
finish
no.
it. I
I'm not
gotta
That's
go
saying the
back.
because,
show
and
was
that's
not
because,
fire.
yeah, and that's because I like criminal, I like criminal and organized crime type shit. So
Yeah.
big
I mean,
fan
she
of
had her
big
scandals
fan of
too, though.
organized
I'm
crime.
like, dang, y'all showing all these black women cheat.
Damn. I think
That.
there's still enough. There are black people on her sets, but there's still enough white people to keep white people comfortable.
Mm.
So even Bridgerton, I think she may have wanted to do all black, but she knows it wouldn't have had the success it did. And I hate to say that.
You got to play the
If it
game.
was so one thing Shonda gonna do is play the game. I ain't mad at it. I can't believe we forgot her. Like
Yeah,
Hmm.
and
she's
she's under
really
the
the queen
radar.
of that shit. Yeah. Like, so I think she knows how to get the representation in,
Hmm.
but still have enough white people on set
Mhm.
to make sure the white people see themselves enough to tune in and give her the ratings she needs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, 'cause you got to play that game. You can't be for
That's
everything's
gonna be
not.
hard for me, baby, because every
Yeah,
book I write, every script I write, blackety black, and the names be black. I need you to know these people are black. So I, uh, I don't know. I
I'm
can't. I
not.
feel like I can't tell Sarah's story because I'm not Sarah,
Right.
but I can tell
Right.
Miracle's story because I know Miracle. So like, but okay, that's something I work on. That might be my big old hit, writing a crossover book. Who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows?
that's that's true. It could. It may be. I
Oh,
mean, sometimes you got to play the game. Maybe you should write a script to get you in the door. Let them have it, and then use the money to shoot what you want.
pull a Shonda. Okay, I feel on it. I feel on that. I feel on it. Because you got to get in there, and it is. And I hate to say, I know it's not about appeasing white gays. It's not, because some white people won't give your story a chance simply because they don't see themselves. Like Game of Thrones had like the only black people were slaves. Like, but
Mhm.
it was good as fuck. I didn't turn it on and be like, there are no Negroes here. I'm out. No, the story was good, so I watched it. But do bigots think the same way? Unfortunately, no. So
No.
I feel you on that. I might need to work on my little crossover story. I remember my first play, my homegirl, shout out to her. She knows who she is. She was just telling me how she was the only white person in the audience other than one of the cast members' stepdads. And I was like, well, it's a black book, it's a black play. This is for black people. Like unapologetic. Like that's just even in my
Hmm.
what you call it, your mission statement. My mission statement is to make positive Afro art. Like it is purposely for black people on purpose.
Yeah.
But if I want to get to a place where I can really make a difference, I understand what you are saying. I will keep that in consideration. In the meantime, be looking out for my next short film. It is all black and it is a horror film. So be looking out for that. It'll be probably up this weekend on YouTube. So before you guys
Oh,
go,
can't wait.
yes, I got the finished version. I'm pleased with it. I have been seeing black people say they want to see more black horror because Jordan Peele is kind of like a monopoly in that right now. It's just him, really.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, horror is not my favorite genre, but it is a fun genre, and there's a need there. So you go where the need is. So It's called The Last Hand. Be looking out. But alrighty, let the people know where they can find you or any projects that you have coming up.
Ron?
Oh, me. Okay, so look, y'all know it's past my bedtime.
Lord.
Uh,
You're not the only one. That's funny.
but y'all can follow me. I'm on all social media platforms. I am Run Brown. On Also Dope Podcast, I got Georgia Dawkins coming up Tuesday, 7 p.m. So y'all make sure y'all follow me on Facebook.
Hey, follow.
And I was
Um,
on the show once too. Do you want to put that out there? So y'all go check
Oh
out our
yes,
episode.
that too. So yeah, so make sure y'all follow the Also Though podcast as well on all the podcast platforms because the audio is on all the podcast platform and the Also Dope Network YouTube page and all that stuff. So yes, most def.
we'll do. Make sure y'all do that. I know for me, I barely be on social media. I prefer y'all to subscribe to my YouTube, Family Finesse, the Sykes family. Uh, Instagram, same thing. But mine is the real Dother, and that's for Instagram and TikTok. But I barely be on Facebook. Um, but yeah, that's where you can find me.
Okay. Okay. And y'all
And
know. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just cut you off.
no, you good, you good. Any projects? Working on. I do have a project. I don't know if I can speak of one, but I know one of them is I'm working
Okay.
with a short film for my friend Rodney Hill. Shout out to him, and he got a project coming up, and I'm gonna work with him what he got going on. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So you can find me. My nomenclature is Courtney Lyric Presents on all platforms. My Instagram is raggedy, but it does exist. But mostly YouTube and TikTok and Facebook. It'll be Courtney Lyric Presents. I do have a website. It too is a little unloved at this time, but CourtneyLyricPresents.com is the website. So when you subscribe, when you tune into stuff like this, when you help Black content creators who want to give you positive things, when you help
Hmm.
get them monetized, you are helping solve this problem. You are helping fill that need. We can do more and bring you more if we are not burnt out at jobs. So,
yes,
with that being said, don't just go watch it, subscribe too. A
Hmm.
subscription is free, and I try to bring quality content at least every week. So that's all our time for today. And thank you both for coming. This has been a good ass conversation. I'm gonna probably have to have a part two and have, or we're gonna do like just straight up talking about comedy and just really diving into that because there are so many up and coming comedians and
Hmm.
y'all got a lot to say. So I'm gonna be looking into that. But thank y'all for coming and thank you guys for tuning in. God bless and good night.
I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration that made ladies sing the blues. I'm the spark that makes your idea bright. The same spark that lights